to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters.
Been a stellar outing in this one for DeRozan. He's got 19 points, and also those active hands of his have led to a pair of steals.
Yeah, Clark, he's had a great presence defensively. He's thrown off their rhythm on several occasions.
Raptors leading by 17. So the Raptors 5 right now. Lowry and Ross pairing up in the backcourt. Amir Johnson at the 4 with Valanciunas at the pivot. And it's DeRozan in at the 3 slot. Shot is blocked. And now the fast break. Rondo with the ball. Nice ball movement by Boston. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way.
You always want a player to have his head up and to be surveying the court, but not if that's going to be the result.
Here's Lowry. Kicks it to DeRozan. Lowry a screen on Green. DeRozan dishes to Valanciunas. And that misses badly. Air ball. Celtics trail by 17. Hit his leg. And the refs whistling a kick ball. Up top, Sullinger. And Bass kicks to Bradley. Outside, Green. 5 to shoot. Shot off a pick. Good. Green's got the first points of the second half here for the Celtics.
Very effective screen to set up the jumper, and that was the key to that play.
And he lobs it up toward the rim. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors able to retain possession here.
A super defensive play. I mean, if that pass gets through, it's probably 2 points.
And he knew that. He knew if it gets through, it's a score, so that's why he sold out for it and got a hand on it.
Now here is Lowry. Johnson with a screen on Rondo. 6 to shoot. DeRozan with it. Now Green defending. Green with the block.
That's not how you want to kick off the second half with 3 straight misses.
Outside Bradley. Pass to Rondo. Bradley against Ross. Outside Rondo. Lowry with the block. And he's able to get it back. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Toronto leading by 15. And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. And there's the pass to DeRozan. Back to Lowry. The feed to Ross. The wide open look here for DeRozan. Buries the long-range jumper. DeRozan's got 22.
Maybe with that, the lid on this basket will be lifted for him.
Pass to Green. That's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Rondo's got 5 assists in the game. Toronto's gone 6 of 10 from three-point range, up over 50% for the ball game.
You know, the Toronto Raptors found themselves in an interesting position last season. A new front office. They were looking to hit the reset button, and so they trade away Rudy Gay and Andrea Bargnani, and the team actually played better than ever.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
Yeah, he's seen enough of this interior scoring that his defense is giving up. So the message during this timeout is time to lock things up inside.
You know, sometimes a group can just get spaced out on defense. They're not connected and playing 5 as 1. And usually a timeout can help you refocus and recalibrate that defense.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Brad Stevens was giving to his team. Back to fundamentals. That's what he told them. Specifically, he'd like to see them implement the pick and roll as often as possible. He also wants his players putting pressure on the defense with early offense. Lots of shots and an aggressive approach in general whenever they've got the ball. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the fourth quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. Toronto calls timeout.
Well, Rajon Rondo still in a Celtics uniform, and that didn't seem like a foregone conclusion over the last season. Boston in the midst of a complete rebuild, and Rondo already in the prime of his career, so a lot of discussion about a possible trade.
Here is Ross. He's got 9. He kicks it to Johnson. They set the pick. Feeds it to Lowry. Off the pick. That one rolling around and rims out.
You know, you look at Rondo and you get the sense that perhaps he covets a chance to lead the Celtics as the team's undisputed franchise player. You know, that's a mantle he's not quite carried in his career. He said he'd love to have another 10 years in Boston.
Bradley can't get it to go. Toronto leading by 15. Outside Lowry. Ross passes to DeRozan. Dishes to Valanciunas. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it. Valanciunas has got his 3rd bucket of the night. And for the Celtics, hard to give up an elite player like Rondo.
Well, Brad Stevens called him their clear-cut best player and the leader of this team. And, you know, Rondo has a chance to put himself in that echelon if he sticks around Boston in terms of being one of the all-time great Celtics.
Here's Bradley after the made shot from Jonas Valanciunas. 4 on the clock from deep. Green. Ross grabs the board. The Raptors have gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half. Outside Lowry. Passes to DeRozan. Lowry setting the pick for DeRozan. Valanciunas dishes to Lowry. Sullinger with the rebound. Sullinger's got 5 rebounds tonight. The drive by Rondo. Steps back and trains the jump shot. Rondo's got 9 points.
Seems like they're on their heels every time defensively because the ball continues to go into the post.
Well, if they don't pick up the aggression, things are only going to get worse.
Now here is Lowry. He's got 14. That's blocked. Here's Rondo. It's stolen by Lowry. Johnson outside to the middle. It's stolen by Bass. And it's Bradley off the drive. Toronto grabs the miss. Valanciunas has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Lowry kicks to Valanciunas. On the wing, DeRozan. For the 3. And it's Lowry again missing.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Rondo with the ball. Now guarded by DeRozan. Boston, no good that time either. Raptors leading by 15. Lowry passes to Valanciunas. On the wing, Johnson. Sullinger defending. Lowry dishes to Johnson. 5 on the clock. Takes a shot at the elbow. Not enough on that one as it misses.
Boy, he has been struggling mightily in this quarter, guys.
True. He really seems to have tightened up a bit for whatever reason. He looks tight.
And the Celtics making a change here. Thornton's checked in. Lowry against Rondo. Sullinger the screen. Rondo against Lowry. Rondo kicks to Thornton. Releases. Here's Sullinger. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Valanciunas has got 9 rebounds now tonight. Lowry with the ball. Sullinger picks him up. Ross against Thornton. Ross passes to Valanciunas. Puts up the baby hook. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Valanciunas has got 8 points.
Now they read the defense perfectly that time.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Rondo drives in. Green kicks to Rondo. Thornton for 3. And it's Thornton again missing. Raptors leading by 17. And DeMar DeRozan the bucket on the assist by Lowry. And that's now 26 points for DeMar DeRozan. Boston's gone into a slump here from three-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third. Rondo kicks to Thornton. Rondo dishes to Green. Drills it from outside. Green's got 7 now in this quarter.
Yeah, and that's his first 3 of the half. There may be more in store.
Now here is Lowry. He's got 14. Johnson with a screen on Thornton. A shot by Lowry. Wide open. And again, it's Toronto converting.
You know, something might have changed in the way they're defending him because he's really struggling. 1 for 7 this quarter.
Rondo kicks to Sullinger. Sullinger a screen on Lowry. Outside, Green. Back to Rondo. Nice ball movement by Boston. Ross against Thornton. Ross with the steal. Lowry up top. Now the dish to Ross. It's DeRozan with the drive. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
That's his 4th personal foul.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Raptors.
You know, with their fast break operating so efficiently, I mean, you can see why they've gone with it throughout the game.
The other thing they're doing, guys, is forcing turnovers and then creating points offensively as a result.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Olynyk, he's checked in for Jared Sullinger. Wallace comes in for Brandon Bass. Evan Turner, he's checked in for Jeff Green. And Smart subbed in for Rajon Rondo. Well, the Celtics had a lot of problems, Clark, in a number of places last year, but at home they just struggled to put up points.
And, you know, they hadn't been known for being a high-scoring team in recent years, but no amount of defense could have made up for their woeful offense.
Boston would end the year with just 16 wins at home. That would be the 3rd worst mark in the East.
Will be at the line shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good.
And it might be a bit strange for these Boston fans to not have a dominant team to watch at home, but fortunately for them, the Celtics usually don't stay at the bottom for too long.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line.
Marcus Smart, a big physical power guard out of Oklahoma State. 6'4", 225, maybe a bit of a tweener, but he's a natural leader. Plays the game with a lot of passion and competitiveness.
You know, you talk about Marcus Smart's passionate nature. Of course, there was that incident last season.
Yeah, he confronted a fan in the stands in a game against Texas A&M, I think it was. He got heckled. Texas Tech?
It was Texas Tech,
Yeah,
yes.
it was Texas Tech. And, but he's a high-character kid, and I think that was just an emotional aberration that he learned from and will be better for it going forward.
And the first one drops.
Making the playoffs was a goal the Raptors had been working towards for a long time, and last year they were able to get back to the postseason for the first time since 2008.
Hansbrough hits them both. A long drought came to a close last year, Clark, for Toronto. It wasn't a long ride in the playoffs, but the Raptors sure provided some excitement.
Well, that Game 7 loss to the Nets, Kevin, broke some hearts, but that's just a young team losing to a veteran team, and that always serves you well when you're looking to become more competitive, and ultimately the Raptors benefit from that type of experience.
Taken away by Williams. Fast break, Toronto. DeRozan leading the charge. Vasquez, that's good.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team scrambling to find its game.
Yeah, they've done a great job causing havoc and then taking advantage in transition offensively.
Here's Olynyk. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That one on DeRozan.
Kelly Olynyk out of Gonzaga was a point guard for the majority of his high school career before a growth spurt shot him up to 7 feet tall. You can see the result of playing point guard for so long. He's a big man with shooting and ball handling skills of a much smaller player.
This is his first trip to the line tonight.
Well, I like what he did at the line a season ago, shooting 81%.
And guys, the numbers don't lie. I mean, he was such a reliable presence at the free throw line all throughout last season.
Good on both.
And Olynyk, growing up in a basketball family, his father a coach at the collegiate level, also coached his own kids. His mother a longtime referee. So Kelly's instincts and understanding of the game certainly have benefited from that wealth of knowledge growing up. And that bucket adds to what's been a big differential in points in the paint between these two teams.
Defensively, the intensity just hasn't been there. They've got to pick up the pace.
Now here's Smart. Back to Thornton. He feeds it to Smart. Nice ball movement by Boston. Here's Turner. Takes it off the glass. And Olynyk in his final season at Gonzaga, leading Division I basketball, Clark, and player efficiency rating.
Well, we know the analytics guys are going to love this, but he shot 63% from the field, Kevin, even shooting a number of shots from the perimeter. And a survey of NBA GMs ranked him the top steal of the draft, and I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, he's a big guy that's mobile, skilled, with tremendous upside.
Now here's Olynyk following the miss by DeRozan. And the shot is good. That's now 8 points for Kelly Olynyk.
You can see that they're not as aggressive from the three-point arc. They had far more attempts in the first half.
Williams kicks to DeRozan. Patterson setting the pick for DeRozan. In the corner, it's Hansbrough. He's looking for Patterson and finds him. And there's Vasquez on the assist by Patterson. Vasquez has got 11 points.
And what jumps out at you guys, the assist totals. I mean, they have been dominant in that category. It's the ball movement, the player movement, a great rhythm to their offense.
Clearly seems to me a different mindset between these teams.
Rebounded by the Celtics.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
And they can guarantee this is the last possession of the quarter if they hang on to it.
And that's probably what they're going to do here.
That's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were right in his face.
Turner. Off target from the baseline. No good. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. It's the Raptors opening up a huge gap. And we'll have the start of the fourth quarter for you as soon as we get back from this short break. Boston's gotten the three-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc. They're 6 of 15. Smart and Bradley the guards. Turner is out there with Wallace, and it's Olynyk in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the Boston 5. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. Raptors leading by 22, and now Williams inside. That is good. Williams has got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for Toronto. Celtics shooting at 50% in a decent groove. Now Smart, he dishes it to Bradley.
Well, you look at the game of basketball, it really seems to be on the upswing, and that's great news for the NBA. We know that those who play a sport are much more likely to watch it as an adult, and basketball is now the largest participation sport in high school and college.
1 minute now into this fourth quarter. Now here's Vasquez. Tight defense on him. Into Patterson. That falls. Great assist by Vasquez.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
Smart kicks to Olynyk, and that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. So Boston going with almost an entire new group here. Jared Sullinger's checked in for Olynyk. Bass comes in for Wallace. Green, he's checked in for Turner. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Smart. And Toronto also making a switch. Lowry's checked in. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. Rondo passes to Bradley. Good on the triple. Bradley's got 5 points now this quarter.
That's his first three-pointer of the half. Remember, he did make one in the first half as well.
Patterson a screen on Rondo. Lowry dishes to Patterson. Here's Valanciunas. Fires the three. That one goes. Count it.
Well, he found the open man on the perimeter and got the ball to him.
Boston's gotten the three-point shot off 16 times tonight. 7 times they've hit it. 9 times they've missed. Green against Williams. Rondo kicks to Bradley. Pass to Green. Clock at 6. Bradley against Ross. Bradley can't get it to go. Raptors have gotten all 3 of their shots to drop here in the fourth quarter. They came out of the break on a roll. Oh, trying for it. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. The Raptors making a switch here. Johnson's checked in.
Johnson.
For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it.
Hey, guys, the league has taken some steps to pick up the pace of the game. Over the last decade, we've seen a lot of rule changes with hand checks and zone defenses and tightening up flagrant foul rules and physical play in general.
And back to that move by the league to speed up the game, it doesn't seem like the league is done.
Yeah, you know, and I think more can be done, Kevin. Cutting down on timeouts. You see in soccer, they just run a little sponsor banner in the corner of the screen while the ball is in play. Continuous play. Continuous play. Reduce the number of free throws, I think, is another step, but that would be more a result of not fouling than teams not getting to the line.
Some changes for Boston. Joel Anthony comes in for Brandon Bass. Young is subbed in for Avery Bradley. Then for the Raptors, Chuck Hayes, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Johnson comes in for Johnson. And Landry Fields subbed in for Terrence Ross. And Kyle Lowry drops them both. It's been a while since the Raptors were legitimately viewed as a threat in the East, but last year, they were one of the top teams.
Yeah, and that was in a year, Kevin, where everybody assumed one of the New York teams would win the Atlantic. The Raptors were able to secure that division, and they're going to be a team to be reckoned with going forward.
Here's Lowry. Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Kicks it to Fields. Johnson outside. 5 to shoot. Now the feed to Fields. Fires the 3. Offensive rebound. Hayes, no good. Johnson wide open. He fires. And again, Toronto no up. Boston's got the three-point shot off 16 times tonight. 7 times they've hit it. 9 times they've missed. Sullinger with the buckets.
And it all came together mid-season for the Raptors. They saw an opening in their division, and in the East they took it.
Lowry with the ball. Hayes with the screen for Lowry. Johnson outside. Lowry passes to Hayes. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry.
You know, it was really a strong in-conference record for the Raptors. And even though they bowed out of the playoffs to a division foe, they really did show they are one of the teams in the East to be feared this year.
Now, here's Green. And stolen by Kyle Lowry.
Well, you know, starting last season, the NBA added a 3D camera system in every arena to track movements on the court. And some of the shots that those cameras get are remarkable. They can measure just about anything you can think of, and it's opening up a lot of different ways of measuring and dissecting the game. Another example of the overreaching arch of analytics.
Kyle Lowry. That's his second personal foul.
Brandon Bass is checked in for Boston. Raptors also changing it up. Jonas Valanciunas, he's checked in for Hayes. Johnson comes in for James Johnson. And it's DeRozan in for Landry Fields. Here is Bass. On the wing, Green. Beyond the arc. The rebound by Johnson. And going back to the new camera system, it seems it won't be long before every team has one. Really a revolution as far as evaluating the game.
Well, we are in an information age, there's no question. Stats, numbers, camera angles. The teams are really trying everything to get an edge over their competition, and it makes perfect sense. The big question is, how do you use that information? I think that's what teams are trying to figure out.
DeRozan against Rondo. Sullinger dishes to Rondo. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Well, Jared Sullinger slipped in the 2012 draft over concerns about his back. He ended up missing the latter half of that rookie season when he had to have back surgery. Despite his health issues, when he's been on the court, he's shown a lot of promise.
Will be at the line shooting 2.
And that one misses. And Sullinger with a ground-bound game. Even before his back troubles, his game is based on strength and skill.
Yeah, no question. He's got that wide frame, able to carve out space inside. You know, he's a good rebounder. He's got a soft touch. Boston really tried to help him become a three-point shooter as well last year. So he's slowly expanding his game.
So neither attempt will fall that time for him.
It had been 6 straight years for the Celtics that they had made the playoffs, but that run came to an end last season as they were clearly in full rebuild mode.
Now here's DeRozan. Here's Valanciunas. Hits the jump hook. Here's Rondo. Well, a lot of storied franchises missed the playoffs last year, and Boston was one of them. But, Steve, they knew it would be a tough season early on.
Well, trading away the talent they did, they knew how the season would play out. You know, ultimately it was the right thing to do because they are in a good position to build upon youth going forward.
Boy, extremely opportunistic defense leading to those points there.
That dunk, Clark, coming within seconds of the steal.
Love the way they convert from defense to offense.
But that's what happens when you get all 5 guys on a string defensively ready to react and make a play.
You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
Outside Lowry. To the paint. Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by Bass. Now the pass to Green. Toronto grabs the miss.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
And he gets the bucket. And it's 8 points for Williams.
Well, it's been all about pace and space with them. Tempo, the fast break points, just a huge advantage.
Yeah, they've been looking to push it all the time and to get that early offense, and they're doing it well.
Now, here is Young. Pass to Bass. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
What a play. The hoop plus the harm.
Excellent concentration on the finish. That's big time.
Boston making some changes. Olynyk, he's checked in for Sullinger. And it's Thornton in for Jeff Green. The Raptors also changing it up. Tyler Hansbrough is checked in for Johnson. And it's Vasquez in for Kyle Lowry.
Well, it started a few years ago, and it looks like it's a trend that is here to stay. Sleeve jerseys, once again, making their presence felt in the NBA. I got to admit, I don't see the appeal for players. I never like to shoot with a sleeved shirt on. It kind of tugs at your arm, but it sells, and that's the big thing for the league.
DeRozan with it. And Young picks him up defensively. Hansbrough inside. That falls. Great assist by Vasquez. Well, as Steve was talking about, the sleeves might bother some, others not so much, but with last year and the All-Star teams using them as well as the Christmas games, Clark, it is the de facto special edition jersey now, it seems.
And, you know, it's good for some casual fans who want to support their teams without running around winter wearing a tank top.
Like you and I are doing right now.
Take a look at what Bass has done.
9 points and also 3 steals. The motor on this guy is amazing. Completely revved up. He's been everywhere today.
He sure has, Clark. Both ends of the floor. I mean, his offense has been great, but defensively he's brought huge energy, too.
At the line for the Celtics, Brandon Bass will be at the line shooting 2.
The free throw drops for Bass. Turner's checked in for Rajon Rondo. Both good from the line that time. Here is Vasquez. Well, guys, the D-League, a test bed for ideas that might, make their way to the NBA. And one thing we've seen there is a mission to get games down to 2 hours in length. They really want to shorten the length of these games.
Well, they've banned consecutive timeouts. They've reduced their number overall. The idea is to hold viewers' attention and provide time certainty for the broadcasters.
The Celtics have gotten into a pretty good groove, going 6 of 10 here in the final quarter. Olynyk sets a screen for Young. He kicks it to Thornton. Nice ball movement by Boston. Fires from 14, and Valanciunas with the block. Here's Vasquez. Good, great play by Williams to set it up.
And condensing the game, we've seen it at the NBA level too, cracking down on pregame rituals and requiring players back on the court quickly after a timeout. The commissioner even talked to owners about shortening the game to 40 minutes, so less might be more in some ways. We'll see. I'm in agreement with that. I'd love to see some of the fat trimmed off the game. I don't know if 40 minutes is where I'd go, but some of the extra things that delay the game, I would love to see that pace picked up so there's not as much wasted minutes during the course of a 48-minute game.
Here's Williams after the made shot from Evan Turner. Shot clock at 6. Williams against Thornton. Williams' shot is off. Boston's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth.
Well, I think there's a couple of ways to shorten games. One is cutting down on the intentional fouls in crunch time. I think you could replace TV timeouts with live action advertising. Also, you might just shoot 1 free throw for the great value of a foul. I think the league is right to try to speed up the pace of the game, but it's a rocky road. You have to really think things through.
And here's Vasquez after the three-pointer from Evan Turner. DeMar DeRozan on the wing. Feeds it to Hansbrough. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. I mean, defensively, the wind has just been knocked out of their sails.
Need to get more bodies committed down low.
Now, here is Young. And it's Turner off the drive. And Thornton kicks to Young for 3. They get it back. Olynyk misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake.
I like the work there, contesting that shot that looked like it was going to be easy, but they forced the miss.
You know what? He got it in close, but couldn't finish in traffic.
Here's Vasquez. It's Williams with the drive. That's good from Vasquez on the assist by Williams. Williams has got 3 assists in the game.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Raptors.
And they could do no wrong today, Steve. That's right. This was a team performing to its Clark fullest capability.
Yeah, and a very satisfying win for him, too. A game to remember, and on the other side, definitely one you want to forget as soon as possible.
Celtics making a switch here. Wallace is checked in.
On the shot clock, 1. Substitution for Celtics. Gerald Wallace.
Here's Thornton. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. There's 48 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And here's Vasquez. Right side to Rosen. Dishes to Vasquez. Thornton against Williams. 4 on the shot clock. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Shooting for Toronto, Lou Williams. Shooting 1.
Boston's gone 2 of 5 on 3-point shots since the end of the 3rd quarter. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. And Thornton kicks to Turner. Back to Thornton. Here's Olynyk. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
That's his 3rd personal foul. Shooting for Boston, Kelly Olynyk will be at the line shooting 2.
No good on that one. And Toronto making a change here. And he sinks the second. Vasquez with it. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play, they showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Kyle, congratulations on this win. Tell us what the team's objective was tonight that most helped in getting this victory.
Everybody played. We all played together. We stayed, aggressive and stayed the course of the game.
Cohesiveness and aggressiveness, a pretty good combination. Thanks for the time, Kyle. Guys?
All right, Doris, thank you. And for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. Now, our Jordan Player of the Game.